Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023. It was a day off for me, and I went for a walk in the Changgumok area in Suncheon. That's where a big monolithic mountain, and underneath it, there's a curvy, big uh, river, kind of stream, and you can swim there, fish there, and enjoy sunlight while dipping. You can do skinny dipping, but since it's March, it's a bit chilly. And that's the usual trekking spot for me. And I walked with anti-cancer Tai Chi walk style for 3 hours. It was very refreshing and a very liberating walk because all the spring events were happening. New branch leaves, new shoots from the ground, and many things starting to change green. And the air was quite crispy and warm too, and the breeze very smooth and seducing. So it was a really good spring break. I have to go back to work tomorrow. Before I go, I would like to read the article about Chinese clear liquor, Bai Jiu. Bai Jiu means clear liquor, means it's not orange colored, is not oak colored, is not brown or any other color. It's just clear. It's like a clear whiskey, like a what is it? Clear tequila, Bai Jiu. So let's check out how Bai Jiu is made. When I retire from my work in Korea, probably I would like to go over to China for a couple of months or a couple of years and learn how to make a Bai Jiu for fun. I don't know, I'm just guessing. So this article is from jiangjidistillery.com. Jiangji means Kangki Juzai. Okay, so Jiangji, Jiang means river, Ji means right. So Jiangji, I don't know. You write about Jianggang. How to make Bai Jiu in Chinese? I'm learning Chinese, so it says white or clear liquor, Jiu, Bai Jiu. Distilled alcoholic beverage is a generic term for all kinds of alcohols made from starchy materials like grains, fruits, or vegetables via distillation. Necessary steps before distillation include saccharification and fermentation, whereas aging and blending are steps that can be applied after the distillation. Spirits can be divided into three main categories: regular spirits, blended spirits, and compound infused spirits. Regular spirits just follow the standard processes of fermentation and distillation. Blended spirits are a mix of two or more liquors with different fermentation bases or mashes, as famously seen in whiskeys. Compound spirits are a synthetic mix of alcohol and added flavoring or sugar. Compound spirits, synthetic mix of alcohol and added flavoring or sugar. Blended spirits. Materials. Distilled alcoholic beverages always go with rich in starch raw materials such as sorghum, corn, barley, wheat, rice, potatoes, etc. as the base, rich in starch raw materials. rich in starch raw materials. The distilling process is roughly divided into two steps. The first step is decomposing the starch into sugar by use of microbes known as the saccharification process. So first you have to decompose the starch into sugar by use of microbes known as the saccharification process microbes. The second step is to ferment the sugar glucose by using yeast to produce alcohol. Using yeast. The thick aroma of spirits is attributed to the fact that esters, higher esters, volatile free acids, acetaldehyde, furfural, etc. are generated in the fermentation process. Most of distilled products mainly compose of ethanol, water, and about 2% aroma substances. These fragrant substances in the liquor and their respective proportions make liquor different from pure alcohol and give each liquor their own flavor profile and style. The flavor substances in the distilled spirit are mainly alcohols, esters, aldehydes, ketones, and aromatic compounds. So yeast is used. Fermentation and distillation. 1. Solid state fermentation. Solid state fermentation refers to a method of fermentation using microorganisms on a solid state matrix with no or substantially no free water. The gas, liquid, and solid phases of the solid matrix coexist in three phases. That is, the porous solid matrix contains water and water-insoluble substances. 2. Semi-solid state fermentation. It is characterized by the early stage of saccharification with solid-state bacteria, followed by liquid fermentation and then liquid distillation. 3. Liquid-state fermentation. It refers to liquors distilled mainly through liquid-state saccharification, liquid-state fermentation, and liquid-state distillation. Jiangxi Bai Gaoliang liquor. By using red sorghum planted under selenium-rich local soil as a single raw material, Jiangxi Distillery distills light aroma Gaoliang liquor through aspergillus transformation and single distillation. To get a proper base for fermentation, the sorghum needs to be cleaned, soaked, and stewed. After adding fermentation agent small chi and local pure soft water, cultivation in the quartzite pits can start. By use of microorganisms, starch raw materials are saccharification, and fermented. The starch is then decomposed into glucose by glucoamylase in the Rhizopus and Aspergillus fungus. The glucoamylase produced by the yeast components of small chi transforms the glucose into alcohol and carbon dioxide, as well as other substances such as acids, alcohols, esters, aldehydes, and aromatic compounds. After fermentation, the liquid is taken from the fermentation pits to remove impurities. The result is base liquor. By adding sugar and water to the base liquor and mixing them well, liquid turbidity is removed. Alcohol content brought down to industry standards, and the desired liquor texture achieved. After thorough quality control, it should be stored for more than 30 days. Finally, the light aroma Bai Jiu is ready for consumption. Well, it's quite a historic explanation and description of the processes of making Bai Jiu. But let's check out these photos which show the process of making Jiangji distillery of Bai Jiu. First, using the sorghum rich of selenium as the sole ingredient, Jiangjin grown red husk sticky sorghum, planted in Baisha town known as Longevity Town, where the soil is rich of selenium. Soaking. The sorghum is soaked in hot water for 18 to 20 hours to guarantee that the water is thoroughly absorbed by the grains. Soaking in hot water. Soaking tank. Steaming. Starch breakdown and getting ready for saccharification. Steaming tank. Moisture control. Steamed sorghum. Cooling. Cooling down for the next step. Stir and let sorghum grains cooling evenly. Steamed sorghum. Add qi, yeast agent. Add qi. Add qi at proper temperature and stir thoroughly. That's yeast agent. Steam the sorghum well blended with qi. Qi, yeast agent. Bacteria cultivation. Evenly distribute the sorghum at the same height and even temperature. Bacteria cultivation for 24 hours. Bacteria cultivation tank. Fixed time and steady temperature. 7. Transfer to a fermentation pit. Fresh and old mash mixed at fixed percentages. Stone pit for both fermentation and mash blending. Fresh and old mash. I guess mash like a modeling. So saccharification and fermentation. That's 8. A natural stone pit ensures cleans saccharification and prevents pollution from unwanted ingredients. Stone pit. Fresh and old mash mixture at fixed percentage. Fresh and old mash mixture. I wonder what the mash here means. Fixed time at steady temperature. Fresh and old mash mixture. Transfer to distillation tank. Evenly add the mash based on the observation of the steam underneath. Add mash accurately and at proper density. Steam rises evenly flat top of the mash in the tank. Distillation. Thoroughly fermented mash spirit cut temperature at 25 degrees. Condenser. Distillation tank. Spirit cut. Separate the spirit head and tail from the heart. What the fuck? Cut spirit according to the different quality level and timing. I wonder what the cut is here. Original spirit. Condenser. Well, it's a little bit esoteric and a little bit strange English, but we learned such expression as sorghum, solidification, cultivation, mash. So let's find out what they are all about. Here, mash, images. That's a famous TV show. So I go here. So mash, Gaoliang, distillation, maybe. So I guess this is I think that's the mash, but I could be wrong. Let's find out what sorghum. I think it's susu. Sorghum is a genus of sorghum. How do you pronounce it? Sorghum. Let's find out the exact sorghum. Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorghum. Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
I think sorghum is susu, right? So sorghum. Yeah, susu in Korean. Susu, sorghum. Exactly. Well, thanks for listening. That's it. I have to go to bed now. I apologize. It's a short article, but nothing too that much to learn from it. But Gaoliang Bai Jiu is a good liquor, and they use the sorghum, and of course they use the solid state breakdown, and they use yeast for fermentation. Then they get the Bai Jiu from distillation. Okay, that's summary. Take care and have a good evening. Bye bye. Come on, man.